Hello and welcome to Dynamo Football Book Club Injury Time. My name's Alistair Bond and I'm joined by my co-host Johnny Coughlin. Johnny, you're not covered in cold sores.
No, I am certainly not. Al, is that why you sound so sad?
But I am. My wife just pointed it out to me. Oh, one night I don't drink a gallon of water and look how God punishes me. Anyway, on a happier note, this week we are doing our 1980s World Cup draft. Both Johnny and I will select 5 players who featured in the 1980s World Cup, and then we will let AI decide who has the better football brain. So far, folks, it's me.
Scherer right across to Marco Tardelli! 2-0 to Italy! Tardelli the scorer! A brilliant move! The Germans torn to pieces!
Johnny, how are you, brother?
Are we not equal?
I just remember you're as good as your last game, and that was me, convincingly.
Okay, we're in the 80s now. Do you remember these World Cups?
The honest truth is, no.
How old were you in 86?
I was 8 years old. I wasn't interested in football in 1986. I think I got into football in 1987, but yes, I wasn't. I think I was conscious of Maradona's handball, but no, I didn't watch the 86 World Cup. Yeah, I think it was the subsequent season that I got into football.
Okay, well, I have no memory of either. I would have been -1 in 82, and it would have been +2 and a bit, I suppose, in 1986.
There's maths for you, folks.
But names are becoming more and more familiar, eh?
Oh, they certainly are. No, I'm genuinely pumped to do this, Johnny. I'm genuinely pumped to do this draft and to talk about some of these absolutely fucking brilliant players that were knocking around in the 1980s.
2 things before we get started. Firstly, an error on my part. Last week I said that Ayler's chip was against USSR. It was against Scotland. That was the commentary at the start of the episode. So thank you for continuing to listen after that error, if you did continue to listen. And also, how'd you get on in your test?
So this is the challenge you set me, whereby I have to go down the FIFA rankings and just name a player historically from each country. How far could I get down? Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Okie dokie. So I got down to, all right, 33.
I knew you wouldn't get past 33. I think no one's getting past Panama.
No, well, that was the one, Johnny. So I went down individually. I just, some of them are so bloody obvious. But I mean, I had a little wobble at 21, but I remembered the Iranian striker that played for Brighton, Ali. I think I called it Ali Yakhshamash. But look, I remembered his name. I spelled it rightly. So I was happy with that. Yeah, Ecuador, yeah, it had a little wobble there, but yeah, Moises Caicedo plays for Ecuador, doesn't he? I remembered that.
Agustin Delgado, is he from Ecuador?
I'm going to say yes, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I got down to Panama, Johnny. I had it in my head that Gary Medel played for Panama, but he doesn't. He plays for Chile. So that was the end of me. I got down to 33. I kept going, Johnny. I think I got down to 50 otherwise. Uzbekistan was the next one, which tripped me up. I don't know any Uzbeki footballers. Shame on me.
Well, ironic that Panama, so synonymous with its canal, is the part that everybody is going to get stuck.
A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Go on, tell me more.
That's same forwards and backwards. What do you call one of them?
A palindrome.
A palindrome. A man, a plan, a canal, a Panama. That is a palindrome.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Which is why I was desperate to crowbar it in. Very good. Very good.
Well, as it happens, we had 2 listeners this week from Panama. I don't know if they were Panamanians, but if you're living in Panama and listening to a football podcast, I think there's a good chance you can name a Panamanian footballer. So please do get in touch if you can get
I
past
can name a
that.
Panamaniac. Do you remember that cartoon from the old days? Brilliant. Brilliant fun.
Animaniacs.
Yes. Sounds a bit like Panamanian. Okie dokie.
So you're tied with Chris Etchingham, who is therefore wins a book, and he is going to win Emanciation for Goalposts by Chris Etchingham, the book that we're doing next week. He has won his own book.
Yeah, Johnny has crowbarred, he's forced me into doing a politic-y book by involving the author to get me. But there we are. So be it.
Well, Chris has very kindly, he stated already that, as it happens, that he has the Miracle of Castel di Sangro, and he said I can give it to someone else. And it just so happens that Jack Lingard, who only got as far as Austria 24, asked if he could have a book anyway. So there you go, Jack. You can have Chris's.
Jack
But just to
Lingard
say,
couldn't name a Austrian footballer.
well, this might be my fault. When I was listening back to that episode, I made it sound like you had to name a past player and not including a current one. So I'm going to give people another week to beat you all, including past and current. But yeah, there's one book coming all the way to Jack, care of Chris. Chris, what I should do really is send Jack your book, and if anyone can beat you in the next week, we'll send that person a book as well. Okay, there we are. Okay, so let's do this.
To the Confusing Book Swap podcast.
Yeah, okay. Let's go out.
Books all around.
Have you got any nice facts? Your fascination with World Cup mascots. Can you tell us anything about 1982 and 1986?
Oh, fuck. I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, I can. Absolutely, I can. All right, then. So here are my 80s World Cup facts. So, 1982, the World Cup was held in Spain. It was won by Italy, who defeated Germany 3-1 in Madrid. The logo was shit. Paolo Rossi was the leading scorer, the disgraced Paolo Rossi. The best young player was Manuel Amoroso. Who? Hungary beat El Salvador 10-1. Still never had a 10 in the Premier League. Why not?
Let me jump in there, Al. On the Hungary 10-1 against El Salvador, there's a man scored in that game. A substitute came on in that game called Laszlo Kiss. Great name, Laszlo Kiss. He scored 4 goals in that competition, but he scored 3 of them in that game against El Salvador, and it was the fastest World Cup hat-trick and also the only one ever by a substitute. That man again is Laszlo Kiss.
Are you mocking me because I've got a cold sore and no one would want to Laszlo Kiss me?
Okay, keep going.
Okie dokie. So here's a Johnny fact. Spain in 1982 was still undergoing transformation from dictatorship to democracy. Crazy, isn't it, in the 80s? This is the World Cup famous for the assault by Schumacher on poor old little Battiston, the keeper, when he absolutely clears him out. This was a 2014 World Cup. Algeria, Cameroon, Honduras, Kuwait, and New Zealand were the World Cup virgins. All 6 confederations were represented. The mascot was Naranjito. Now, the logo was shit, but Naranjito is a charming little fella, little orange, super. They used an Adidas Tango ball, absolutely gorgeous. It was the World Cup which had the greatest ever England kit. Can you picture that England kit, Johnny, with that? Oh, it's so beautiful.
Has it got that blue, the kind of blue stripe across
red. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Big fan of that. I'll tell you who wasn't a big fan of that was Brian Clough. He said it looked like his mother's pinny.
What on earth is a pinny?
Oh, an apron.
A pinny?
Yeah, pinny.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun. The France-Germany semi-final was the first ever with a penalty shootout. And this was the World Cup, if you can picture, Prince Fahid of Kuwait coming onto the pitch to try and get his players to come off in a big oil shake style tantrum because things weren't going his way.
If there was a current football chairman to do something like that, who would you say it would be?
Well, I don't know. Who was the bloke from Senegal who got more to fuck off the pitch as well?
Well, I was going to say your boy from Nottingham Forest.
He's a hero. Love that man, sort of. All right, moving on to 1986. This was again in Mexico, altitude, because Colombia dropped out. They were gifted the World Cup, but they couldn't fulfill their promise. This is a better logo. This is a better logo. Yeah, welcome to Logo Watch. Golden Boot was Gary Lineker, but the player of the tournament was a fella called Maradona. You heard of him?
Yes.
Canada, Denmark, and Iraq were the World Cup virgins. Apparently, this is the first Mexican wave. That doesn't sound right. Maradona had 10 goal involvements. Goal involvements is an inelegant phrase, isn't it? But 10, and he successfully completed 8 dribbles a match. That is so much more than anyone else.
Dribbling is not something you see anymore so much. Apart from apart from Doku, no one really dribbles anymore. If you get 8 dribbles in a season now, you'd be doing well.
Callum Hudson-Odoi dribbles. He dribbles to the byline, then he dribbles back, and then he passes it to fucking Elliot Anderson again and again and again. Do something different. But yeah, no, dribbling, yeah, that is a lost art, isn't it?
It's a sad one.
The mascot for Mexico 86 was Piqué, little fella with a big sombrero. I think arguably the best ever mascot. Really, really good. Well, 1990 might have a shout. This was the first World Cup. Although I didn't watch it, I had all the stickers. I don't know. I had 1986 World Cup stickers all over my room in the inside of a door in the cupboard in my room. It was just covered in World Cup stickers from 1986. So all these names sort of ring a bell. There was a Hungarian lad with an absolutely massive beard. Can't remember who it was. And and for the 1986 World Cup, I don't know if you I doubt you did, but there's a documentary called Hero on YouTube, and it's narrated by Michael Caine. It's really good. It's a great way to spend half an hour.
It's about the World Cup, or it's about a particular hero?
It's about the World Cup.
Al, do you remember there was a show, I think it was presented by your man Matthew Kelly, who did Stars in Your Eyes, and people would come on if they had like a kind of a quirky kind of interest, and then you'd be challenged on this interest. Do you remember that show?
Ooh, You Bet.
Maybe it was You Bet, but I remember there was one fella who said he could recognize any Prince song by hearing any 3 seconds from any moment of any Prince song, and he didn't get it. But I remember there was a kid, and I said kid because he was a young fella, and he came on and he said he could recognize any football kit in England on the basis of its collar. But that'll be you with these mascots at the end of this series, you know.
Oh, no kidding.
And he did.
You Bet.
He did get them all from the collars.
I think I could remember, this might be bullshit, but like these German lads who could recognise like any song by a certain way by watching a candle that was placed next to the speaker.
And did they get it?
I think so. I mean, this is a memory from long ago. But yeah, that was You Bet. That was You Bet 100%. I can remember also watching some military bloke. They were doing like blindfolded marching, and one guy fucked up and then he cried on TV.
Yeah, okay. All right. Keep going with your 86 facts.
No, that's it really, Johnny. That's it. I am ready to go. And this coin toss. I have genuinely been worrying about this coin toss. I really want to win it.
All right, have you got a coin?
No. Oh,
I have a 50-cent euro, which I think it says Letzeburg on the back. Is that Germany or Luxembourg? I have no idea. Let's go. All right, tell me what you want.
I want tails, Johnny.
Gladiators, ready!
It is tails.
Come on. Right then, so this is a snake draft. So, Johnny, you're going first against Sunshine because I'm going to get you with a double punch. Boom, boom.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll take that. I'm going to go for...
I want, Johnny. I want him so badly. I'm going to have him.
Okay. I'm gonna, well, I guess mine, and mine is Maradona. I'll take Maradona. And
Maradona, you say?
Yeah. And then I suspect you're going to go Zico Platini.
Johnny, don't fucking ruin it. Well, great stuff. Well, it's great podcasting, Johnny. Okay, so let's move on to my your second pick. No, Johnny. At least. Yeah, I didn't even write anything down for Maradona because I figured this was going to play out this way either or. So, Johnny, got any Maradona facts for me other than his 8 successful dribbles per game in 1986?
No, I didn't write any.
Did he do anything else of note? Anything famous Maradona did in 1986?
Well, in the context of this draft, I picked him in the one where about people who went to prison, but he didn't really go to prison, did he? He got arrested a bunch of times, and I somehow got away with that. So, in the context of the draft, he's also a well-remembered and much beloved player. But yeah, what's there to say? Literally, what is there to say about Maradona? Just on the topic of the 1986 final, they beat Germany 3-2. I think they went 2 up and then it went 2 all. And again, it's one of those situations where you expect a team that is pulled back like that is going to lose. But Maradona was obviously the star player of that game, of that team. And I think the next kind of major player was Valdano, and he had scored earlier in the game. But I think a lot of the other players are kind of, mediocre, kind of jobbing enough players. But I saw this interview with Valdano, and he was talking about the pass that Maradona played to this guy who scored the winner, Jorge Burruchaga. And he's saying, the ball went through, and this is a famous pass, a beautiful pass by Maradona. And Valdano's like, I was just thinking to myself, something to the effect of, you useless piece of shit. You haven't done anything for the whole competition. Please score this goal. It wasn't quite that bad, but he was effectively saying that Maradona had dragged him there, kind of like, kicking and screaming. And all this guy had to do was kick it into the net. And he did. But it was pretty sweet, actually, Valdano saying we were all rubbish, but this guy was amazing,
Yeah, those poor... I mean, that poor 1986, the Argentinian team, is basically remembered as a bunch of fucking farm players, isn't it? Like farm players plus Maradona, which is probably a little bit unfair. But no question at all, that lad dragged them there. As I say, 10 goal involvements in one World Cup.
I tell you one thing now. Like, so Argentina won in 1986, and Italy won in 1982. When you're researching the best players of these competitions and you look up their club career, it's like, okay, this guy played for FC Cologne and this guy played for Real Betis or whatever. It's like where are AC Milan and Juventus and Bayern Munich? It's funny, isn't it? Because if you looked up the recent best players in any given World Cup, they're playing for the biggest teams, but it doesn't seem like it was always like that.
No, it was. It used to be a good deal fairer. I mean, that's absolutely right, Johnny. I mean, that's it. Everyone gets hoovered up now by Barcelona and Madrid, basically, isn't it? I mean, the whole world are feeder clubs for Barcelona and Madrid, it feels to me. Certainly Madrid. Well, yeah, that's it. You see some of these, especially these South American lads. Yeah, they'd come over and like, it's like, oh, I've scored 400 goals. Now I play for Levante. It's like, why are you playing for fucking Levante? Right?
Yeah, like Neri Pompidou was the World Cup winning goalkeeper in 1986. And he played for, I think, River Plate. Let me have a look. Yeah, he played 121 games. He played for Union Santa Fe, but then in 1986 he was playing for River Plate, and he did play for Betis later for like 67 games for Betis. But it's funny, isn't it? Obviously, okay, who was the goalkeeper in the last Argentina win? He was playing for Aston Villa, which is, maybe it's comparable in a way, but generally, if it's going to be Germany or something like that, you're not getting someone who's playing for Cologne anymore, yeah. By the way, did you see Manuel Neuer's performance against Real Madrid?
Yes, I did.
What the fuck? He's not the number one. Is he still Germany's number one? I don't think he is. Because he should.
No. Yeah, 40 years old. But what a game that was, by the way, Johnny. What a game of football that was. Absolutely thrilling.
Okay, go on anyway. So that is me. I have gone predictably enough for Maradona.
Okay, well, obviously, Johnny's taken the wind out of my sails with this. So, yep, as he correctly predicted, my first pick will be my sweet love, Zico. Zico, in the early 80s, scored 81 goals for Flamengo, and a Flamengo team that was generally accepted as the best club team in the world. They absolutely destroyed Liverpool in the World Club Championship. I think you could argue he's maybe the best player to never win the World Cup. He scored 333 games at the Marathon. Oh, baby. Maracanã, sorry. His brother, Edu, was Brazil manager when John Barnes scored that famous goal at the Maracanã. On his birthday, Flamengo supporters say Happy Christmas because they equate him to Jesus.
That's nice.
He scored 62 direct free kicks in his career. That's the 10th of all time. He scored 48 8 goals in 71 games for Brazil. He came 7th in FIFA Player of the Century. And Pele said he was the player that was closest to him in skills. Also, his brother Edu is married to his wife's sister, keeping in the family. Very nice.
So that makes them, their children are like double cousins. It's kind of crazy.
We have double cousin. Yep, absolutely. All right, and so for my second pick.
Wait,
now,
what's Zico's name?
Zico.
It's Arthur Antunes Quambra. There you go.
Yep, highlighting my lack of research. What's his name? Oh, I don't know. But I can tell you who his brother's married to. All right, so my second pick, again, as correctly identified by Johnny, is a certain Michel Platini, who is not really associated with the World Cup. He won the European Championship with France in 1984. But here we go. Here's some Platini stats for you. He was the Ballon d'Or winner in 1983, 1984, and 1985. All years without a World Cup in it, sadly. He scored 224 goals in 432 club games. That's from midfield. And he was 3 times top scorer in Serie A from midfield. Do you know he retired at 32 in 1987? So went out of the top.
Oh.
And he's played for more than one international team, Johnny. What other team has Michel Platini played for?
International team.
Yep.
French Guiana.
French Guiana. It's Q8. Yeah, I don't know. They just threw oil money at him and somehow managed to change his nationality at the end of his career. But yep, he played
At the end of his career. Are you not kind of blocked from doing? I'm never quite sure of the rules of this, you know?
Yeah, I need to research that more. But yeah, it's certainly, I should have researched it more. But yeah, it appears, pops up. Yeah, he played for Q8. He played one competitive game for Q8.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's come back to this. All right, Johnny. So Maradona is in your team. I have Zico and Platini. Who is your next pick? Now it gets interesting because we all knew this. Who is your next pick, Johnny?
Okay, I'm going to go for a non-winner. And how many times did Platini win the Ballon d'Or? Just say 3 times. Thrice.
3 times.
Okay, I'm going to go for 2-time Ballon d'Or winner, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Yes, that's right, Al. He scored. He was the running up. He was a runner-up in. He scored 5 goals in the 1982 World Cup, and as I said, he won the Ballon d'Or twice in 1980 and 1981. So 2 years in a row. He played 310 games for Bayern Munich, scoring 162 goals. He scored 45 goals in 95 games for West Germany. And he, as a player with Bayern Munich, he won the Intercontinental Cup, 2 European Cups, 2 league titles, and 2 domestic cups. And guess what? Pele thought he was a good player.
Who'd have thunk it?
By the way, Al, just one thing I realised as I was doing this research. So West Germany got to the 2 finals in the 80s, in 1982 and 1986. They were also in the final. They won it in 1978. They won it in 1990. So they were in 4 out of 5 finals between 1978 and 1974 and 1990. 1978 being the odd one out when it was Argentina and the Netherlands. That's incredible, isn't it? And that's even before unification, like, you know.
Well, that's why they weighed so heavily on the young mentality of me. Like, they were just absolutely the winners, right? I mean, this was the period of Gary Lineker as like football is a simple game. We play for 90 minutes and then Germany win, right? They just, yeah, absolutely all-encompassing. Just a machine of a team at the time.
And in that 82 game, so that semi-final against Michel Platini's France in 1982, it was the first game, as you say, that was decided by penalties. France were winning that game 3-1 at half-time, and Germany pegged it back, obviously 3-3. And that the first ever shootout, Germany missed before France, and then France missed too. So there you go. Spicy.
Yep. One more fun fact about Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. He was the 10.5 billion lira man. He went from Bayern to Inter Milan for 10.5 billion lira in 1984, and that was the equivalent of 5.75 million quid back then. Yeah, they always go on about fucking Trevor Francis for £1 million man. Over in Europe, they were spunking the cash. Okie dokie. He was my next pick, was old Rummenigge. So I'm going to go for another striker, and I'm going to go for Careca. Careca from Brazil. A, because I had a sticker of him on my wall in 1986. His real name, Antonio de Oliveira Fio. He played for Sao Paulo. He got 5 goals in 1986, 212 goals in 399 club games, and 30 goals in 64 games for Brazil. And he played with Maradona at Napoli. He was part of the Magica front line. That's class, in it. Magica. Ma for Maradona, G for Bruno Giordano, and Ca for Careca.
Oh,
He also played for Garforth Town in 2005. Because, there's a bloke called Simon Clifford who did a lot of that. Socrates and Lee Sharp also played for Garforth Town in the early 2000s. Careca means bold. Not as in bold as in like cheeky in the island. Bold as in he's got no hair. Because as a child, he liked a bold clown called Careca. Ugh, bold clown. That sounds creepy. Very cursed.
that does sound sinister.
Oh, Mommy, Papa, I love this bold clown. Your name is Careca. The Baldy. And a fun thing, there's a fella called Hamilton de Souza who played 7 times for Brazil. Do you know what he's known as? His sobriquet, if that's the correct word, is in Brazil? Careca 2. And there goes Careca 2. He is the sequel to Careca. Well
It's
done,
like Ronaldo.
de Souza.
Now people call
Can you imagine if Ronaldo was called Ronaldo 2? He wouldn't like that.
No, you wouldn't like that. Now it's Ronaldo and Fat Ronaldo. It's how people, that's getting turned around, doesn't it?
Which is very, very harsh on Fat Ronaldo, but also accurate. When I lived in Brazil, I saw Ronaldo. He'd gone back to play for Corinthians, and he was on a late night chat show in Brazil, and my then girlfriend was translating it for me. And the presenter of the show just kept potting him in the belly, saying, "Not so much lasagna, not so much lasagna." Poor Ronaldo. Fat Ronaldo.
Okay, Al. In the time that we have done the books, the people who were less cool than I expected them to be were Van Basten, Fowler, and to an extent Socrates. But I'm going for Socrates here because he does remain pretty damn cool. And they just looked so slick, that 1982 team. By the way, Al, the midfield for the FIFA best team, whatever they call the all-star team for the World Cup in 1982, the midfield was your boy Platini and then 3 of the Brazilian midfielders, and they didn't win the World Cup.
Yeah, what a team. I mean, absolutely right.
Yeah, we've talked about Socrates a lot. We have done an episode about Socrates if you're interested in that, and he came up in our 1982 book last week. So yeah, Socrates is in there as my midfielder, the rangy, long-legged Socrates, democracy icon and womanizer Socrates.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick a midfielder as well. And his physical appearance, he is the opposite of Socrates, but in terms of his carousing, he is the same. I am going to go for Lothar Matthäus.
Oh, I was wondering. He's more of a 90s man, though, isn't he?
He played in the 82 World Cup, the 86 World Cup, the 90 World Cup, the 94 World Cup, and 98. He is maybe a bit more associated with 1990, but then deal with it, brother. Deal with it. He won the Ballon d'Or in 1990. He's played 25 World Cup games.
Is that the most? First... Or is Ronaldo's probably more, is he?
I would imagine at this point, but yes, he was the record holder at the time. He was the first ever FIFA World Player of the Year. And a certain Maradona said he was the best rival he ever had. And yes, on the old carousing, he is married 5 times. And in 2008, the age of 47, he married himself a lovely little 21-year-old Ukrainian model who he met at Oktoberfest in a very, very German way. Like, good for him.
He was in the 1986 team of the FIFA team of the competition. But I did see him, and I thought it would be poor form, the usual kind of poor form that I go for, having picked Dino's off for the 1970s and Pele for the 1950s. But I wasn't going to do it this time because I thought it would be cheap. But anyway, okay, well done, Al. You're not going for a defender, I see, in your current team.
No, it's never worked out for me, defenders. No, I'm just going all out attack with, Mateus is going to be the ballast there. He's going to be the anchor.
So you're going to say to your top scorer or whatever it was, what year did he score the most goals, whatever league? Because you can marshal the back there. Okay, I'm going to go for a defender, but I must admit, let me just have a look now. Do I want a defender now that they're not coming up against any? Paolo Rossi would be the obvious other striker, or Emilio Butragueno, known as the Vulture. Nice nickname for a footballer, not a nice nickname for a man. But I am going to go for a defender. The 1982 team had 3 Italians, but we know about the Italian team. We know that they were very good, and we know that Claudio Gentili was a scumbag with his 23 fouls on the man leading my team here, Diego Maradona. There's a fella who got in 2 of the 1982 and the 1986 All-Star teams, and his name was Karl-Heinz Forster from West Germany, but I am not going to have 2 Karl-Heinzes in my team because that would be confusing. Instead, I'm going for Manfred Kaltz, a German footballer and a right back. He played for Hamburg, and like I said, you have this kind of funny situation where they're not playing for the teams you necessarily expect. But he is to this day, he remains to have the second highest number of games in the Bundesliga with 581. He was an expert in penalties, scoring 53 out of 76. Not that expert, really, is it?
I guess that's about part of the course, isn't it?
But this was my favourite bit. He was famed for his right-footed crosses, Al, which he hit with so much spin they curved like a banana, and they are affectionately known as banana crosses, or in German, Bananenflanken. You gotta love that German language; it's fun, isn't it? And he often used this technique to set up hulking striker Horst Hrubesch, who, if I'm not mistaken, scored the winning penalty in that shootout in 1982. So that's Manfred Kaltz. Not as good as the other German fella I just mentioned a minute ago, Karl-Heinz Forster, but he's going in my team all the same because of his banana crosses. I quite like that.
All right, Manfred Kaltz. And to that I say, who? I had a look at Andreas Bremer there, but all right, Manfred Kaltz. All right, so I guess I'm going to pick a player who is associated with Nottingham Forest. Come on, the first one in the World Cup draft. Yeah, my keeper will be the much-loved Peter Shilton.
Ooh.
Yeah. The most gammon player yet to be picked, old Schultz. He's got an exotic young wife as well, a bit of a gambling addict, but you cannot argue with some of his numbers. He's wild. 10 World Cup clean sheets. At the time, that was a record. 125 caps for England. And 1,390 games over his career, over 30 years. He played his first game in 1966 for Leicester. He played his last game in 1996 for Leyton Orient.
Wow.
Wild. He played for 11 clubs. And not one of them is glamorous. Like, not one. Like, they're all shit. Well, apart from Forest, who are glamorous.
You got yourself there just in time.
Look, Johnny, I'm self-aware enough to know that Nottingham is not a hotbed of glamour.
You do have the son of the guy from Status Quo playing music there, you told me, so it's pretty sexy, you know?
Rick Parfitt Jr., yeah, we do. And we got Hooters, so come on. Good old Knots. Yeah, not a very sexy pick, old Shilton, but I think, Johnny, the right pick. So
Okay.
you have a keeper to pick. Can I
Yeah,
guess?
go guess.
Battiston. No, Schumacher, right? Schumacher.
Battiston. I'm going to put Battiston in goal. Do you know Battiston was on the pitch for 10 minutes when he got knocked out by Harold Tony Schumacher. But I wrote down 3 actually. Schumacher, Jean-Marie Pfaff, the Bayern Munich in France goalkeeper, just because his name is Pfaff, and that's a lot of fun. But I'm going to go for Rinat Dasayev. That's right, Rinat Dasayev. 3 World Cups, Euros final for Russia, Olympic bronze medalist, known as, and this is the reason I picked him, the Iron Curtain.
Oh, come on.
But he's Muslim ethnic Tatar from Astrakhan, which was conquered by Ivan the Terrible in the 1500s. What's the name of this guy coming to town? Ivan. Oh, is he nice? And did you know what Ivan the Terrible built in Astrakhan? He built a fortress. Do you know what the Russian word for fortress is?
I do not, Johnny. No.
Kremlin.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
You live and you learn.
Yeah. And in 1919, after a failed revolt against the Bolsheviks displaced, Astrakhan was the scene of a massacre in which 3,000 to 5,000 people were killed in the space of a week. Some were thrown into the Volga with stones around their necks. Like, how fucking daft is that? Like, 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Well, that is an absolute classic Johnny selection. A bit of stand-up comedy and a whole lot of information. Excellent pick. No, he's one. Yeah, but Jean-Marie Pfaff, I'd never heard of him, but people say he was arguably the best keeper in the 80s. But I just like to talk about Schultz.
Yeah, I wondered if you're going to go for Shilton. By the way, Shilton, I remember reading when I was younger that he used to hang off the banister as a child to stretch his arms.
Yeah, it didn't help him saving penalties. Really bad on penalties, but yeah, an interesting character. And when I say interesting, I mean grumpy. All right, so that your name again, Dasayev.
Dasayev, Rinat Dasayev. As I said, he was Muslim and an ethnic Tatar, so he's kind of a Central Asian background. And he was nicknamed Rafe since the Russians couldn't pronounce his name. There you go.
That's great. All right, then. So this is it. Let's find out. So the teams are, for me, I'll read out my team, Johnny. I have Peter Shilton in goal. I have Lothar Matthäus shielding the goal, and then up front, Platini, Careca, and Zico. And your team, Johnny?
I have in goal Rinat Dasayev, the Iron Curtain. Manfred Kals.
Who?
With his banana flagon. In midfield, Socrates, you've heard of him. Maradona, you've definitely heard of him. And Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Okay, do you want to give me any other little facts or players there? And I will put this into the machine.
Well, I think, I was very nearly I couldn't remember if he went in the 70s draft, but Claudio Gentile was the one player I really considered who was the Italian centre-back who pretty much pocketed Maradona in 82 by fucking brutalising him horribly. But, I don't know if AI is going to take that into consideration. So I went for Matthäus. I might use this opportunity to apply more salve to my disgusting cold sore. Well, but let's... is this about time to make this recollection, Johnny? Do you remember when we were playing in a band on the riverside in Phnom Penh, and all of a sudden you felt a little cold sore popping up, and you abandoned the band, got a taxi back to your house to apply Survivor, and came back like half an hour later? We never missed a beat. Rock and fucking roll, Johnny? Rock and roll. Golden memory.
I do remember that. I'm sure to say we didn't miss a beat might be looking at that thing through a rose-tinted glasses, but anyway.
It's just looking. It was funny. Like, just hopped off your stool and off you fucked. Like, what? Alrighty, okay, let's play one of those songs. Oh, very good.
Okay, here we go. Cagey start. It's midfield chess. Lothar Matthäus sits tight, shadowing Diego Maradona. First big chance for Rummenigge. Great save by Shilton. The first goal, 1-0. Manfred Kals, who whips in a low diagonal ball, and Rummenigge darts across his man with a first-time finish. But Zico drops deep, drags out defenders, and gives it to Careca, the old baldy clown. Quick turn and a low finish past Rinat Dasayev. But Socrates strolls through midfield, backheels it into the path of Maradona, 2-1, and it remains 2-1 at half-time. But shortly after half-time, it is a goal for Al Platini to Mateus, 2-2. Then Al takes the lead, pressing high now. Mateus robs Socrates. Quick feed to Correca. Finish across goal. Oh my God, momentum swing. But wait, Maradona drops lead, picks it up. That sounds about right. That's 1986 right there. Beats 2 players in a phone box. Slips a perfect pass to Rummenigge. Finish again. Ooh, baby. And the winner, Al. 3 minutes to go. Calts again. Long bending ball forward. Socrates cushions it on his chest. Leaves it perfectly for Maradona. All the other players look on and say, that fucker better do something because he hasn't done anything for this whole game. But he does. He scores. Low finish into the corner. But there's a last moment Platini free kick pound away by the Iron Curtain. That's right. That's Dasayev. And it's 4-3 to Team John. And I think it's now 3-2 to Team John in the series. Oh, Alistair. You're only as good as your last game.
Just faulty AI again. There's all sorts of problems there. I mean, obviously, Mateus would counter Maradona. That was all part of the thinking. Really? I really thought that was in the bag there, Johnny, to be honest, with your fucking Manuel Counts, whoever his fucking name is.
Manfred Mann and...
Manfred Mann. Well, man alive. Oh, well, okay. Well done, Johnny. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, you sound happy. Okay, Al, and we are back next week with Emancipation for Goalposts, which is the story of football in the fall of Yugoslavia. And Chris assures me in a message that there is some World Cup. He said there's 180 pages about Tito's military career and then 26 pages about the World Cup.
Look what he does, folks. Look what he does. So sneaky. Getting his bloody history in there. Like, oh, politics. Bloody Johnny. All right, well, I look forward to that. I understand, it's not too long. I like learning things, Johnny. I like to learn about the emancipation of Yugoslavia. Okie dokie.
But for next draft, it's going to be different because now we can go by feel, man. Now we can do what we can go on the basis of what we remember. So obviously, Paul McGrath, Niall Quinn, and so on. Here we go, the 1990s.
Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, I know who's going up front, and he's not associated with the World Cup, but he is my favourite player of all time. So that is... Fuck off, Shearer. Not my favourite player of all time. No, it's not. Well, let's go. I'm going to keep that in my pocket, lest you reveal it to the world. But, yeah, very exciting. Yeah, I'm really excited to do this. I love doing these drafts. I love it. Although
yeah, okay, Al, that was a pile of fun, and all the more so because of the outcome. Cheers, buddy. And if anyone could beat Al in that competition, please do and let us know. All right, thanks, folks.
Dark day for me, Johnny. Cold, sore, and defeat. Bad day for bonding. All right, thanks very much, folks, and we'll see you next week with Johnny's Politics Book. Maradona de cabeza, la tira para Ricardo Giusti, Giusti de cabeza para Maradona. Maradona entre tres, se va solo Burruchaga, está botado, Burruchaga.
Last question. Thank you very much indeed.